was in the groove. I would be in my shared office before 7 o'clock most mornings, grading copious papers or meeting with freshmen. I researched at the library. That's the place where they store books. Yes, children, there was no internet at that time. I wrote my thesis chapters. I studied the oral exam reading list. I taught drum lessons. I played drums with the Java Heads, a southern rock blues band in Waco, Texas. I rode my bike down Highway 6 near the Branch Davidian compound as the ATF and FBI surrounded them before the place went up in flames. I wore a lot of tie-dyed t-shirts. I strolled into the English department main office, then Dr. Barkas's office for my weekly updates, thinking I had it all covered. And he would look me in the eye over his glasses and say, "Hello, Barry. Have you been practicing self-discipline?" I looked at the mirror he had on his office wall. Have you ever been stopped in your tracks with a simple question like that? A question that made you wonder if you're really doing all the right things? Busy doesn't mean effective. To me, that's what a mentor helps you to do. Step outside yourself for a few moments to see if you're really on the right track. Dr. Barkas asked me that question every time I met with him. He was reliably consistent. Just like a lean manufacturing 5 why question. Why did the customer order get shipped wrong? Why was the wrong label attached? Why did the system print out an incorrect label? Why was the part set up incorrectly? Why was there no quality check after the part was set up? Now we're getting to the crux. It's not mean-spirited or bullying. It's just persistent and anchoring and yet moving towards something new. Another of my copious mentors was the best boss I ever had, Barry Murato, aka B1, CTI's Vice President of Operations. I was B2, obviously. He had worked at Procter & Gamble and Miller Coors, so he had a lot of experience with large corporate organizations. In my one-on-ones with him, we would always end with this question: people! That one word brought us from strategies, tactics, and project critical paths to really what's important: people. How are we getting along as a team? Who's making progress and who's slipping into a death spiral? Who's losing effectiveness? How can we help? How can we help work around weaknesses? How can we leverage strengths? B1 kept in the forefront the humanity of work. Do you know that a long poem can be a mentor too? The last voice in my head that I want to share is at the end of T.S. Eliot's Wasteland, the section titled What the Thunder Said. Here's a little excerpt. Then spoke the thunder. Da, data, what have we given? My friend, blood shaking in my heart, the daring, awful daring of a moment's surrender, which an age of prudence can never retract. By this and only this, we have existed, which is not to be found in our obituaries or in memories draped by the beneficent spider or under seals broken by the lean solicitor in our empty rooms. Of course, I can't unpack one of the greatest English poems in 5 to 7 minutes. Here are the Cliff Notes. The entire poem is about a metaphoric wasteland that is unregenerative. War, personal failure, disconnection, loss of religion, stuff like that. Finally, the sound of thunder signals the potential for rain and restoration. But how? The thunder says 3 words in Sanskrit that roughly translate to give, sympathize, control. You might see these as symbols of the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. And at the end, Eliot asks, shall I at least set my lands in order? That's a really great question. Am I myself practicing what I'm asking others to do? Am I being humble in my feeble attempt to help? Have I found my own relief from the hot, dry desert of scorching life? Something that I can share with someone else? Am I being a humble leader? I could be a better mentor sometimes. Well, many times. But I try to keep these questions from my own past in my back pocket. Am I practicing self-discipline? What about people? Have I set my lens in order? Asking the right questions without being too pushy, keeping focus on the people side of things, and turning life's rough times into shareable personal growth. These are the hallmarks of mentoring that might help you in your leadership, whether it's with your family, your team, at work, or fellow Toastmasters. What do the copious voices in your head say?
Thank you, Barry. Everybody send Barry some love notes.